And as we praise the men in amber and black, I don't see any immediate changes. No changes, Peter. So confirmation of that Cork change. The Nicholas Murphy in midfield, where he will pick up Callum King, and out goes Alan O'Connor. Second half is about to get underway. It's down 8 points. It's Cork 5 points, and still no sign of Graham Canty, but off we go. Ding dong. The second half. McComiskey's handling just let him down, and Down's midfielder Peter Fitzpatrick was taken out of the ball. I'll bring in Peter Canavan just very shortly if that one goes out of play, which it has done. Peter, observations?
Well, it's ironic after what you're just after saying about Nicholas Murphy, the belt that he received in the opening seconds of last year's All-Ireland final. He's got his retribution, not on Ty Kennelly but on Peter Fitzpatrick, and I'm surprised that the referee missed this. That was a late tackle, and that should have been a free in to Down.
Yeah, and Peter, I'll make the point to you, that this year, that tackle, it was changed at Conquest in 2010 that it was no longer side to side, it was shoulder to shoulder, right? So technically speaking, and I think it was Joe Lennon of Down who actually at Congress in 75 introduced the side to side, but that shoulder to shoulder, it's very difficult to call, and that did not look. Well,
David Goldrick has actually gone and booked Nicholas Murphy now for that. So again, Murphy would need to watch himself, but that's a statement of intent from Cork, and for a team that are so powerful and so strong, they haven't really been using it, as well as they should have. So I'm sure Conor Coonan, that point hasn't been missed with him, and he's wanted them to go out and to stamp their authority and their physical prowess on the game, and Murphy has certainly done that.
Yeah, well, as I was making the point about 40 minutes ago, it's one of those finals where neither captain has managed to start. We remain to see who will get the hands on Sam Maguire, and whether or not Peter Dan Gordon will have Sam at his wedding this year.
And speaking of weddings, there's a young friend of mine who's on a blind date here with a Down lady, so the very best wishes to Marty. I hope everything goes all right for you, Marty.
Imagine a blind date on All-Ireland final day. Well won by Benny Coulter. Up he goes, hovers like an old hummingbird, so he does. And that's now Marty Clark, sells a little dummy. O'Leary sticks with him. Clark, deaf ball inside toward his brother, and there was no one picking him up. This is now McComiskey. Oh, it's come off the upright. No one there to react. It was a sweet little move from Down, but could yet prove costly. 38th minute off this All-Ireland final, second half. We still await the opening score off the second half. 3 points separate the teams. Pierce O'Neill, mountain of a man, gives it off to Kerrigan. Kerrigan being confronted by Kevin McKernan, now closed down by Fitzpatrick, and gets support outside of him from Paddy Cassan. Deft little ball dinked in, left-footed, and the full forward pulled up quite sharply there, Donoghue O'Connor. Peter, it's a simple game when it's played free-flowing, but is it as simple as keeping the ball away from Donoghue O'Connor from a Down perspective? He's the one man who is a great threat when you give him good ball.
Well, it's O'Connor and Daniel Goulding are the two men in particular. We're just witnessing Paul McComiskey's effort. Would have been a great start, but a brilliant crossfield pass. We talked, before halftime, but let's get Marty Clark on the ball. Brilliant pass by Clark to set up that chance.
Benny Coulter again won the possession in the middle, but it was only broken into the path of John Miskela. He will now leave it and see it taken by Paul Kerrigan. Paul Kerrigan, terrible ball, easily dealt with by Rafferty. Down through Poland now, retained possession. This is Daniel Hughes. There's a little slap at him. Hughes continues that run, looks now for McComiskey, who has blistering pace. Take him on, he's been urged by the Down crowd. McComiskey this time gets the bearings right. Peter, he could have been playing football, for Blackburn and or Chelsea, and accounted with Fergal McCormick, and he got the figures right that time.
He's starting to grow in confidence, but important point here, that score emanated from a great interception by Damien Rafferty. The last two balls that have gone in, he's done that. He's come out with a bit of pace and a bit of force, so great reading of the game. And apart from McComiskey, obviously great score, great credit has to go to D. Rafferty in the corner.
At the risk of reprimand, I'll even make the point to you that it wasn't necessarily an interception by Rafferty. It was cheap possession kicked away by Kerrigan from the free.
Well, he's doing what James has told him to make sure and sweep to prevent Connor and Goulding from getting possession. And he's doing that, and at the same time trying to keep an eye on his own man.
You're listening to the voice of Mark Sidebottom alongside Peter Canavan, who has more all-stars than there are stars in the sky. picked 5 points to his name in an All-Ireland final in 2003, picked up another in 2005, can down pick up the first since 1994. This is Donoghue, O'Connor, ball good, McVeigh comes in there. I think it's gone wide over the head of Kieran Sheehan.
The ref has actually given a free in, I think, for a slight push by Brandon McVeigh on Kieran Sheehan.
He did. The umpire signalled wide, well, in any event.
Yeah, a bit rash, I think, by McVeigh. He had no need. He contested the ball fairly in the air. It was when the ball went to ground that he came in, and he did push Sheehan in the back.
Daniel Goulding, 3 in the first half, and that will be the first Cork score of the second half, and once more 3 points separate them as we go into the 41st minute. Peter, but you know, someone asked me to tip this game during the week, and I'm notoriously bad at tipping, but I said a replay. Would you rule one out?
No, I think Down are definitely in the stronger position. The way they play their game, if they can hit Cork on the counter-attack here and keep possession, I think they're capable of seeing this out.
Great fetch in the middle, soaring for it was Aidan Walsh. Aidan Walsh sees the free taken quickly. Pierce O'Neill has been fouled. O'Neill wants to get rid of it and does. It's Paddy Cassan. Cassan thought about the shot, looked like he'd overcarried that. Eventually offloads. In possession is Sheehan. Sheehan back outside to Cassan. It's 1-on-1 in the middle. The man in there is Daniel Goulding, and that was the wrong option, Peter.
Totally the wrong option. So disheartening from a Cork point of view. To so many, all they had to do was change the play. There were 2 or 3 men free at the far wing, and as expected, there's a big change coming on. Mark,
Graham Canty, the captain, will be introduced. I think it's Paddy Cassan who's making way. I think it's Paddy Cassan. It is, yeah, that's confirmation. And Peter, quick comment on that.
Yeah, well, he's gone over to Danny Hughes, and the instruction has got to be given to Danny Hughes. Take that man all over the place, run the legs off him, and if you get a chance to take him on for speed, he should be getting the better of Canty. Double
All-Star Graham Canty, but picked up a hamstring injury against Roscommon. Lovely ball drifted inside from Declan Rooney, and it's anticipated by Cadigan. Cadigan with the hand pass and finds Paddy Kelly. Whistle sounds, and it's the high diagonal ball, and it's well watched in there by Dan McCartan, who saved Downs brushes in that first half. Goal line clearance. Now Kerrigan's footing just let him down. Peter Fitzpatrick penalised. I'd like to see it again, Peter. What your take on this one?
Well, the Down supporters are very disappointed, but he probably was a bit rash on going in, sliding in when he was on the ground. But you know, a 50-50 call, some referees would have let that go. And bad enough at giving the free, it appears that he's going to either tick or book Fitzpatrick as well.
Yeah, it might well be Down's first yellow card of the day. Big Peter Fitzpatrick played in last year's under-21 final against Cork, which of course Cork, Peter, you'll recall, dramatically won with a goal late in injury time after Fitzpatrick thought he had won it for Down with a late point. So Peter Fitzpatrick picks up yellow card. He's just 21 years of age, the bricklayer from Ballymartin. Daniel Goulding. The gap's 2. It's his 5th score of the day. This was the yellow card, Peter. Oh, Peter, that's never a yellow card.
Definitely not, but I think maybe he had been ticked previous, and that's why the referee felt the need to actually book him.
Yeah, and Peter, I'll make this point to you. 43.5 minutes on the clock, and Benny Coulter yet to raise a white flag. You'd have got good odds on that one.
Yeah, that's quite true. I see the referees having a word with Dan Gordon here, and it appears that he's going to book him as well. And you know, at this juncture, I think it's important that Down have got to remember how Cork won the game against Dublin. It was by giving away, losing their discipline and giving away easy frees. You know, if Down can remain disciplined and tackle the way they have been doing in the first half, then things will go okay, but they need to be careful.
Dan Gordon booked, James McCartan worried. Brendan McVeigh takes a kick out. Callum King can't hold on to it. And Graham Canty has held on too long. That will be a free the way of join. Poland wants to take it in a hurry, but instead now goes down this flank underneath Lee Hogan's to Martin Clark. Clark being reasonably well contained by Noel O'Leary. Noel O'Leary, who has had his rows and troubles, and Clark did well up against County there to retain possession. This is Poland. Fitzpatrick's peeled one way, Dan Hughes another. Poland to go alone. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking sublime. It's looking sumptuous. Peter.
What an inspirational score. Marty Clark bottled up, going nowhere. Poland took the initiative, said give me the ball, was prepared to take on not only one but two men, came inside, and that's a fantastic score and an uplifting score for Down.
Mark Poland. And Conor McGinn has come in for Down. 22-year-old from Bransford, and it's John Clark who makes way, Peter.
And John Clark has had one of his better games. James McCartan rightly applauding him coming off, but McGinn has produced the goods when he's come on before, and I've no doubt he'll have a good influence in the game.
So then, tempo discernibly picked up back to Alan Quirk. Doesn't have a lot of options. Owen Cadigan has presented for him. This is Cadigan. Played an All-Ireland hurling semi-final for Cork against Kilkenny this year. This is his actual first championship start at on that full-back line. County with a little daisy cutter in there, which Goulding gets too brave and hungry for it and down on it quickly. This is now Pierce O'Neill. O'Neill has given it away. Good tackling. It's Peter Fitzpatrick who is in possession. Needs a little bit of support and doesn't have it. Benny Coulter's coming for it. Benny Coulter has been beaten to it by Michael Shields. Shields now with two options down the left flank, one of whom is Kieran Sheehan. Kieran Sheehan been urged forward by the substantial Cork support. It's now with Donogh O'Connor, and it's as you were in that first half. Peter again knew that he had the ability and the radar. Inspirational score, didn't need to know where the posts were. They're smiling as wide as the River Lee down there. Great score.
But it was so disappointing, and Paddy Talley has run onto the pitch to Peter Fitzpatrick and say, look, give the ball simple. If there's runners beside you, give it to them. He had no need to kick the ball in to Benny Coulter, who was behind his man, and that's where that score emanated from. A great counter-attack by Cork, but it shouldn't have happened because Down had the ball in a great position.
Brendan McVeigh. Kick out is picked up by Ray Carey, who's given it to Paddy Kelly. Paddy Kelly will see that Graham Canty is available. Canty now. How will that hamstring hold out? Mark Poland it was who was tackling back. It's now with Ray Carey. Dan Hughes confronting him. It's Kieran Sheehan who has the ball, spins away from Rafferty. Goulding wants it inside and gets it, and was expecting to hear the ref's whistle. Hasn't. Goulding continues his run. Hey ho, hey ho. There's one between them, Peter, and
well, we've said it before half-time about the two men that Cork need to watch, or Down need to watch. I thought they should have got back a bit quicker to prevent the ball from being played in front of Goulding, but it's very much game on.
Daniel Goulding's 6th point of the day, and that's one more than you got. No 3, Peter. It's a fair old return. Do you feel there's a goal in the game, Peter?
Well, and it's going to be very important whatever side gets it, but once more Cork winning the ball in midfield. Walsh is starting to come into the game more and more.
Kevin McKernan, I can tell you that off camera, Ambrose Rogers, the Down captain, is warming up amongst a clutch of Down subs. He's one of 3. This is Daniel Hughes. Pierce O'Neill is closing the door, and Dan Hughes gives it to Martin Clark. Martin Clark kicks a wayward one. Benny Coulter couldn't get there. Coulter now back tackling. Clark needs to get in there. Gets a shoulder from O'Leary. O'Leary finds Pierce O'Neill. And Pierce O'Neill with a deft little dink into the corner for the full forward Donogh O'Connor to get onto. Donogh O'Connor back inside, and that's going to go out for a 45. Peter,
I would like to see that again.